So if your business needs working capital for any reason, call or visit us at quickandeasyfunds.com today to get the funding you need fast. You only have to be in business for 1 year to qualify. No hassle. A simple application that takes only minutes and funding in as little as 24 hours. That's Quick and Easy Funds. Let our money work for you.
Go to quickandeasyfunds.com or call 800-215-0341. That's 800-215-0341. 800-215-0341.
Saturdays on the Blaze TV.
We got a hit on target, baby.
It's all about guns. From tactical gear and gun reviews.
I rack it to the rear, pause, now I'm ready to go hot.
To heated shooting competitions.
I only have one speed. It is fast.
To mental and physical challenges in the wilderness.
I'm gonna let my experience carry me. It's there now and I'm ready to go.
Don't miss TAC TV, Hot Shots, 3 Gun Nation, and Ammo and Attitude. Saturdays beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Blaze TV or anytime on demand at theblaze.com/TV.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. 800-294-1788. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, Consolidated Credit Programs will teach you how to get out and stay out of debt. Call 800-294-1788. 800-294-1788. That's 800-294-1788. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services or by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Services are primarily educational in nature.
Jay Severin.
Because that argument, if you were on there and you're saying you weren't and you're going to sue, that's going to buy you a few nights, maybe a couple weeks. But other than that, beware of false accounts. And let's watch. And let's hope that there are White House people on there.
Jay Severin. Weekdays, 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern on the Blaze Radio Network. Blaze with Doc and Skip on the Blaze Radio Network.
You look like a man who wants to read some tweets.
I do want to read some tweets, Doc. Some good ones coming in with the hashtag What I Learned Today from Adam Wilson. We need to do more to support band veterans with PTSD. Of course, post-tuba stress disorder. Which is a serious concern, Doc.
Well, I understand. It sounds serious.
And one of the best quotes I've actually seen about a Trump service. The other candidates noticed Trump's 1,000-yard stare with concern. He's been in that ass too long, man. Too long. Really good. It's a hashtag What I Learned Today. Lots of people too counting, like Mike was saying, that Donald Trump is a trans veteran.
Trans veteran. So he may not have fully have transformed.
He identifies as a veteran, though.
Okay, okay. Well, I guess that's the only thing that really matters there. By the way, if you're just tuning in and you're thinking we were potentially mocking veterans by saying we served because we watched certain movies, that's what you call satire. See, I'm pointing out the jackassery of Donald Trump by saying such things that he identified with the military or believed he was in the military because he went to a military-themed school, and he dealt with those people, so in a very true sense, it was like he felt he was in the military. That's called satire. By the way, you could potentially argue that this is stolen valor. It's borderline stolen valor. I don't know if he has benefited directly financially because of it, but I don't think that necessarily has to be the case. But to claim you're in the military like this or identified with it or whatever, he is benefiting on the stump, and politically speaking. I don't know 100% if it's stolen valor, but I know it's stolen stupidity. Seriously, it really is. You would actually have to get to even if you are a stupid person, seek out other stupid people and gather more stupidity in order to be so dumb about something like this. You didn't serve, you don't identify as somebody who served, and you can't unless you actually were there serving.
You're listening to The Morning Blaze with Doc Thompson and Skip Lacombe.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Republican presidential candidates are blasting the Iran nuclear deal as Donald Trump and Ted Cruz headlined a rally today at the U.S. Capitol opposing the deal.
Ever in my life have I seen any transaction so incompetently negotiated as our deal with Iran.
Trump also said he has a lot of experience negotiating deals and argued the country is being led by, quote, very, very stupid people. Meantime, Trump is urging CNN to donate the profits from next week's Republican presidential debate to charity. In a letter to the network's president posted on Twitter, GOP frontrunner says CNN should treat the debate as a public service and give any ad revenue to various veterans groups. Real estate mogul also cited reports that CNN is bumping up its advertising rate to $200,000, a jump which he credits to his popularity. Wall Street today, the Dow dropped 239, NASDAQ fell 55, S&P down 27. You're listening to the latest on 24/7 News. Apple is unveiling its newest round of technology at an event today in San Francisco. The tech giant released the iPhone 6s and the slightly larger iPhone 6s Plus. Also showed off its new iPad Pro, which is a screen that measures nearly 13 inches diagonally. A newly released federal study finds a record number of sharks swimming off the southeast coast from Florida to North Carolina. Lisa Natanson is a biologist with the NOAA Northeast Fisheries Science Center and led this year's shark capture and release program.
We caught 2,835 sharks in 52 sets, going from about Fort Pierce to, middle North Carolina.
She says it's a record since they started doing the survey nearly 30 years ago. She chalks up the higher numbers in large part to a federal program to preserve shark species that began in the early 1990s. Americans are expected to bet more than $95 billion on NFL and college football this season. That's according to a release from the American Gaming Association, which says less than 4% of that total will be wagered through legal channels. I'm Evan Heidenreich.
The Blaze TV is your home for Glenn Beck, Pat and Stu, Buck Sexton, and Dana. But did you know that the Blaze TV has a ton of programs you can watch on demand? At theblaze.com/TV, you can watch every episode of For the Record and watch exclusive documentaries.
One of those buildings is a drop house for terrorists coming into the United States.
See action-packed shooting competitions.
Yeah, there it is.
Laugh at comedies like The Wonderful World of Stu.
All these conservators need to learn what they're talking about.
Learn with family-friendly shows like Liberty Treehouse.
You have the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. I mean, this is the birthplace of America.
And brush up on your survival skills by watching Independence USA.
When everyone else is out there running around trying to figure out how to survive, we're going to be ready.
Or maybe you just want to catch up on episodes of Dana from last week.
Washington, D.C. sucked the life right out of me.
Or binge watch Glenn.
Hello, America, and welcome to the Glenn Beck program.
You can, on demand, at theblaze.com/TV. Become a subscriber to The Blaze TV today.
Are you or a loved one struggling with an addiction to alcohol or drugs? You've got company, because there are 24 million people in the U.S. who are addicted, just like you. What you need to understand is that addiction is a disease, not a character flaw. It's a disease that may or may not kill you, but it will take everything from you and those you love. If you're like most people, you've been in denial. You think it'll just go away. Or even worse, you're embarrassed to admit that you have a problem. The Addiction Advisor Helpline is real help. Get it now before it's too late. Their advisors are there 24 hours a day. They listen, provide guidance, and most of them are former addicts themselves, so they understand what you're going through. The call is free and the service is free.
Call the Addiction Advisor at 800-278-9414. That's 800-278-9414. 800-278-9414.
We live in a world where words mean nothing. Today, simply speaking the truth can get you fined or fired. And when it comes to Islam, you dare not say anything about those who crucify children, behead Christians, and sell women into slavery. It's time to speak the plain truth. Without opinions, without spin, without politics, and just let the chips fall where they may. The simple truth about what these butchers actually believe. They're fighting a holy war against the people of the cross. What everyone is afraid to say is finally being said. Not by the experts, not by me, not by anybody else, but them, the Islamists, in their own words, as well as quotes from the Quran, exposing the true origins of Islamic extremism.
It Is About Islam by Glenn Beck. On sale now at glennbeck.com/islambook.
This is the Morning Blaze with Doc Thompson and Skip Lacombe, part of the next generation of talk radio.
If you really get frustrated by stuff like Donald Trump claiming to be a veteran, and you really want to help veterans, I hate to say the word help veterans, we got to find a better way to say that. If you really want to ensure that veterans are going to get what they have been promised and what they deserve from the Veterans Administration, we have to do something. We're going to have to come up with a plan, because if you know anything about the history of the VA and how we've treated our veterans since the beginning of America, we have never given them what we've promised them. Every couple of years, a major failure from either the VA or groups that preceded the Veterans Administration. Fail after fail for our veterans. They always get screwed, and I'm tired of it. So Skip and I will launch a new program to try to do what we can, and by we I mean Skip and I and Cal and all of you, what we can do to ensure that veterans are going to get what they deserve, what we've promised them, and more. Because even what we've promised them and have not delivered on is not enough. We're going to kick that off on Veterans Day, the 11th day of the 11th month of this year. And in the coming couple of weeks, we'll explain more of what we're going to do. But we'll tell you this. It is going to be a series of documentaries. A series of documentaries highlighting veterans.
Very nice.
Veterans who have been not treated well with the Veterans Administration or by the Veterans Administration. We will talk to doctors. We'll talk to family members of those who suffered and died at the hands of the Veterans Administration. Other Veterans Administration insiders. Politicians. Political leaders. You. We are going to put all of these people in documentaries to show you the failure. And the reason I say documentaries, because we don't want this to go away. We don't want to produce one huge film and have it go away. We're going to do many, many of them. And from there, we'll also tie into a greater campaign, an advocacy campaign, with a rallying cry and specific goals that we hope to accomplish. And even more. And if you have other ideas on how we can keep this at the forefront during the campaign and beyond until we do some very simple things to give veterans what they deserve, we are open to suggestions. We have plenty of time. And it kicks off November 11th. But over the next year or so, we'll be looking for other ideas, whatever it takes. Where do you need us to go? What do you need us to say? Where do you need us to stand? Marches, rallies, campaigns, we're behind it. We're just going to make sure that the veterans get what they deserve. We're going to do everything we can, and then it falls on your shoulders to make sure it gets spread. All of the word gets out. That's where we're at with this. So in the coming couple of weeks, we'll likely have more details for you there. If you have any veterans, or if you are a veteran and you have a specific story that you would like to share about the Veterans Administration, please email Skip. It's skip@theblaze.com. If you are a female who is in need of some companionship, you can also email skip@theblaze.com.
That email does work for both purposes, yeah.
Yeah, listen, if you are a family member whose loved one, have a loved one that suffered at the hands of the VA, maybe they're not around anymore, please tell your story.
We want to tell your story. I mean, the Veterans Administration has not been accountable or held accountable for their failures for 85 years. It's time they're held accountable. They have to do this. So I mean, we want to tell your stories.
I think it's 95 years. It's 85. It's 1929.
Pretty sure it's 85.
29. Yeah. We need the really bad stories. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. Because unfortunately, if I say, hey, so many veterans died because the Veterans Administration had them on a secret, separate waiting list and didn't give them the treatment, people go, oh, that's horrible. Politicians will slam their fist and say it's bad. But if I say 1,000 people died, or 4 people died, or 400,000 people died, or so many veterans are suffering, if I tell you 22 veterans commit suicide every day, what does that mean? You don't know them. If you don't know them, they're just numbers. But if we tell specific stories, then it matters to people. Let me give you an example. If every day on this program, I told you, hey, don't forget, there's plenty of dogs and cats that need adopted down at your local shelter. You go in one ear and out the other. You may, oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, maybe we'll get a dog someday. But if on this program, I come on and tell you about a specific dog, and I say, this is Fluffy, and Fluffy was abused, and this, that, and the other, and I tell you about Fluffy, and I tweet a picture of Fluffy, Fluffy will get adopted within minutes. Because you have an emotional connection there. I know this is true from years on radio and television. The local TV station tells you about a child that was abandoned. Do you know the number of people that come out? It doesn't matter the age of the child. Child can be 15. Child was abandoned, had a bad life. And they tell you the story. They will have hundreds, sometimes thousands of email and phone calls saying, I can adopt the child. I just want to help. What can I do? Because people are generally good people when it comes to that stuff. They want to help. And if it's a baby, forget it. Tens of thousands. I'll adopt it. I'll adopt it. I'll adopt it. It's a crack baby. I don't care. I'll adopt it. It's something's got to help. Someone's got to help the baby. But every day in America, tens of thousands of children need adopted. They don't get helped. Why? Because you don't know them. You just know a number. So if we tell the stories of veterans specific, people are generally good people. They'll want to help. So we need to tell your story. Help us tell your story. Email skip@theblaze.com. Of the 17 announced Republican presidential candidates, only 3 of them do not own a firearm. Of the 17, 3 do not own a firearm. Think about it a minute. Cal, think about it. Skip, think about it. Audience, think about it. What 3 would not own a gun? Skip, give me one that you think would be on the list.
Well, I would originally think Donald Trump just because of where he lives, but he's come out before and said that he does own a gun, so I'm...
It's not Donald Trump. He owns the firearm.
All right.
Cal, you got one possibility? Chris Christie is one of them.
Yeah,
Chris Christie is one who does not own a firearm.
Very difficult in New Jersey to get one.
Even for the governor, right?
Even for the governor.
Carly Fiorina?
That's number 2.
On a side note, you know in Jersey, if you want a pistol, you have to have a license for each pistol. You can't just have one license for all your guns. You can have a shotgun rifle license, then every time you want a sidearm, you have to get, and you're only allowed 3 max licenses for each one.
So wait a minute, wow, that's
ridiculous.
So there's a lot of people in Camden that are doing a lot of work, right? I mean,
in Newark.
Newark, yeah, a lot of people. I mean, getting all those permits. That's really interesting. Yeah, so Carly Fiorina is one person who does not own a gun of the 17 presidential candidates for the Republicans. Chris Christie is the second, who is the third.
Bobby Jindal?
No. In fact, Bobby Jindal has an A+ rating with the NRA and owns a firearm. At first I was like, really? And then I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know, like a Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush.
Really?
Jeb Bush. And then after I think about it, I was like, he is kind of the mamby-pamby, oh, I won't own one type of, you know what I mean?
That's surprising.
Not that you're that way if you don't own one. I just get that kind of spongy feeling from him. Like, he just, I don't know. Yeah, Fiorina and Bush both have A ratings from the NRA, though. And Carly Fiorina says she doesn't own a gun, but her husband owns several. So she has them in the house.
Yeah, that's almost kind of splitting hairs, though.
Right.
She's never...
Right, I'm just being specific here. And her husband has a concealed carry permit in both California and Virginia. What's that count?
I was saying it's still funny that Jeb doesn't, because I would think the Bushes carry their handguns at dinner at the table.
No. They have people who do that for them. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They have people who do that for them. By that I mean people that they pay very for the underlings, you know, people like that. The help, that's how we call them. In the back years, many years ago, you'd say the black folk. But now they're a little more progressive. You know, they hire other minorities now to do their work for them. That's what it is. Tell me it's not true. You know they have help.
I said so many lines come to my head and none of them I can say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fiorina and Bush both A ratings from the NRA. Chris Christie, C rating with the NRA, a C. The only candidate with a lower rating from the NRA is George Pataki. He got an F from the NRA. Most Republican candidates do pretty well as far as their NRA rating goes. Lindsey Graham and Rand Paul both have an A rating from the NRA.
Second Amendment stuff, gun rights, a pretty no-brainer for a GOP candidate, though. That's going to have to be one you have to be.
I don't know, but there's a lot that don't get it. I mean, there's a whole lot that vote poorly and get bad ratings. A lot of members of Congress are Republicans that screw this up. Rick Perry, Bobby Jindal, both A+ ratings with the NRA. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, the one that may be shocking to people is how how can I put this, masculine Lindsey Graham is when it comes to this. I mean, you think of guns as being more masculine, that type of thing. But remember, he served in the Air Force. He has an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, which has the insignia of his former Air Force unit on it.
That's pretty cool.
So he has,
By the way, y'all for 5 kisses. But officially speaking, it's an AR-15. I get the feeling it's an M16 though.
You think so?
It's full auto. Come on.
You think
in the military. It's got his military insignia on it. Yeah, you can flip that up to full auto. Officially speaking, yes, no, it's a semi-automatic AR-15.
That's what's so frustrating about Lindsey Graham. Here's a guy who served in the military, and here's a guy who gets stuff like that. I mean, he has a good rating with the NRA and gets that stuff. But when it comes to other stuff, he just sells out when it's illegals and stuff. And I think that comes down to having his strings pulled by business. I think that's what it comes down to. You know, business isn't going to necessarily stand against him when it comes to stuff like gun issues. But when it comes to illegals,